Over 140 grams of protein with 30 grams of fiber, sitting right around 1,500 calories. The best part, this meal plan this week is mostly whole foods. So we are eating clean meals that are gonna help give us satiety and keep us full to make sure we can reach our weight loss goals. Today, I am hoping to inspire you with the meals that I'm putting together that will not require any protein shakes, no protein bars. Let's get started. For breakfast, I'm gonna put together a little scramble using eggs. I'm actually going to use 2 large eggs, and then I'm also going to use 2 large egg whites. Then I am going to go ahead and use some sliced turkey. Once my eggs are scrambled, I'm gonna go ahead and add 3 ounces of sliced turkey. I know this one is processed. I have just a few items in each meal that are technically processed. This is gonna be one of them. But this turkey says it's family owned, farmer raised, no artificial colors, flavors, no nitrates added. Let's see, no antibiotics ever. So I thought, this looks pretty clean. It was a good price at Costco, so I went for it. 3 ounces of this sliced turkey. It's gonna be 90 calories with 18 grams of protein. Now you know why I had that. So my 2 egg scramble with 2 egg whites, my 3 ounces of sliced turkey. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy 3 ounces of avocado. And if you're trying to figure out, Grace, so you really measure your things out, I absolutely weigh them on my scale to make sure I am in a caloric deficit, because one of the fundamental basics of weight loss is calories in versus calories out. And if you are not tracking what you're eating, it's very difficult to determine if you're actually in a caloric deficit. I have struggled with tracking, so I'm making sure that I'm being very, very precise with my tracking for that reason. We need to add fiber to our meal because although our avocado gives us some, we still need a little bit more. And fiber is gonna give us satiety and help keep us full all the way until lunch so that we are not snacking. Now for fiber, I'm gonna go ahead and use half a cup of these red beans. Half a cup is gonna be 110 calories with 7 grams of protein, but the best part, 7 grams of fiber. To make my meals really easy, I am gonna prepare my beans in advance. And what I mean by that is, at every meal, I'm not opening a can of beans and serving myself, right? So what I'm gonna do is in advance, I'm going to drain these. I'm gonna soak them in some water, get rid of all that excess sodium. And then in a pot, I'm gonna heat them through with a little garlic powder, garlic onion. Then I store them in a glass container in the refrigerator. And at every meal, whenever I am ready to eat and I'm preparing my serving, I just measure out on my trusty scale the serving that I'm going to enjoy to make sure I am, again, within my caloric deficit. My breakfast scramble with my sliced turkey, my avocado, and my red beans comes out to 511 calories with a whopping 47 grams of protein, 24 grams of fat, 13 grams of fiber, and 28 grams of carbs. Absolutely clean, wholesome breakfast meal. For lunch, I am putting together some delicious shrimp tacos. I don't feel like I enjoy shrimp enough, so I definitely wanted to put it center and on main stage for one of my meals this week. But the great thing here is if you don't love shrimp, that's okay. You can cook down some fish, some lean ground meat, some grilled chicken, even some tofu, or even some diced potato if you're plant-based. Like really, whatever protein source makes you happy will substitute perfectly well in this taco recipe. Now, again, for my protein choice, I'm gonna go ahead and use some shrimp. I'm using 6 ounces of this wild shrimp. I've been listening to you guys. You guys told me to opt for wild raised protein sources. So I've been trying my best to do that. While this has been processed because it's been obviously prepared, deveined, tail off for me, I do want to show you that in the ingredients, it just says Argentinian red shrimp. So 6 ounces of this shrimp is going to be 120 calories. Talk about lean, 30 grams of protein. The way I prepare my shrimp, super easy. You can obviously cook these on the stovetop, but I just throw mine in the air fryer that you see there with a little avocado oil spray, salt and pepper, and that's it. I cook them for about 5 minutes. I flip them halfway through and they are ready to go. We got our protein. Our vehicle source is gonna be these organic blue corn tortillas. I got these at Sprouts. Each one of these are 60 calories with 1 gram of fiber and 2 grams of protein. And while this has been technically made for me, I just really wanted to show you how clean these ingredients are. You're talking about 2 ingredients, corn and water. It does not get cleaner or more wholesome than that. To complete our shrimp taco, I'm gonna put together a creamy, crunchy slaw that's just gonna finish the meal. I'm going to toss some shredded red cabbage, and all that's in here is shredded red cabbage with a homemade dressing. I'm not gonna open a bottle of processed dressing, you know, with a bunch of calories and fat and seed oils. Instead, I'm gonna make my own, and it's really easy. In a small blender, I'm going to mix in 1 clove of garlic with 1 diced avocado, 1 whole diced avocado, the juice of 2 lemons, and a handful of cilantro. Once our dressing is completely mixed, I'm gonna go ahead and store the extra in the refrigerator. All I need is 1/4 cup to mix with a little shredded cabbage. My shrimp, black bean, avocado slaw shrimp taco comes out to, I make 2 of those by the way, 490 calories with 40 grams of wholesome protein, 17 grams of fat, 8 grams of fiber, and 42 grams of carbs. I am so excited for dinner. Not only is it super easy to put together, but it's packing over 50 grams of protein, this meal alone. Let me show you what I'm putting together. I'm actually going to cook some rice in my trusty rice cooker. Again, if you prepare a lot of these things in advance and you just store it in the refrigerator, it'll be ready for you so that when it's mealtime, you just take it out, you measure out the serving that you're going to enjoy, you throw it in the microwave or on the stovetop if you prefer to heat it through that way, and your meal is ready to go. I'm going to start by making some high protein rice. The way I'm gonna cook my high protein rice is by using 1 cup of jasmine rice. If you don't like jasmine, you can use brown, you can use white rice, you can use basmati, you can use quinoa, really any sort of whole grain would work here. Then I'm going to use 1.5 cups of bone broth. I'm using the Keto and Fire. You guys know I love the taste of this. The turmeric ginger pairs really well in this particular recipe. And this is a whole 30 item. So this is technically whole foods. 1 cup of jasmine rice, 1.5 cups of bone broth, but I'm not done yet. To my bone broth and rice, I'm adding 1 cup of this shelled edamame. That's all that's here, shelled edamame and some salt, because this is gonna give me a ton more of protein and fiber. I'm gonna put that to cook. That's gonna be ready in 20 minutes. For my protein source, I'm gonna use 5 ounces of grilled chicken, and I've already prepared this in advance. I just grilled my chicken on the stovetop. I sliced it and I put it in the refrigerator because it makes life easier when my food is ready for me to just serve. And for some added fiber, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy that with 1/2 cup of this Great Northern beans. This white bean gives me 110 calories, 7 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber. To complete my meal, my high protein rice with my grilled chicken and my white beans, I'm gonna make a little sauce from scratch on the stovetop that's just going to chef's kiss, just complete this meal. My sauce is super easy to put together. Again, on the stovetop in a small saucepan, I'm gonna cook 1 tablespoon of coconut aminos. I'm using coconut aminos because it's less calories than soy sauce. 1 tablespoon of organic honey, and 1 clove of garlic diced. I'm gonna cook down that literally for just a few minutes. It'll thicken really fast because of the honey. When it's all heated through, I'm gonna drizzle that on top of my dinner, and my meal is complete. My high protein dinner comes out to 553 calories with 55 grams of protein, 6 grams of fat, 9 grams of fiber, 69 grams of carbs. Let me give you the macros for this meal plan. 1,554 calories with a whopping 142 grams of protein from real food sources. 47 grams of fat, 30 grams of fiber. No fiber supplements here. We're not using Miralax. We're not using Benefiber. We're not using Metamucil. We're getting real fiber from whole foods. And 139 grams of carbs. I hope that you enjoyed this meal plan. If so, would you consider hitting the like? If you have not subscribed to the channel, be sure you subscribe so you don't miss out whatever else I am cooking next. And tell me in the comments, what is a whole food meal that you are enjoying today that I need to try? Till next time, let's keep losing the weight. Bye.